Hi everyone, I'm Nick. Today we are back into project analysis series, and today we are going to review the Robertson Opus. This is very exciting. Why? Because it's the first out of the 5 projects in the River Valley area, and most importantly, if you are a freehold lover, you don't want to miss this. Be sure to watch to the end of the video, because out of the 5 plots, this is the only one that is freehold, or what we call 999 years. So if you are a freehold lover in this area, then this is something you don't want to miss lah. The Robertson Opus is actually a redevelopment of the Robertson Walk, which you may be very familiar because a lot of Singaporeans like to go over there. Even younger people like myself, when I was young, once upon a time, we like to go there, drink kampai and like have dinner over there. Fantastic location, so it brings back a lot of memories. If you're someone who wants to relive these experiences, I'm sure the Robertson Opus will be able to hit you with the nostalgia lah. If you're new to this channel, my name is Nicholas. I do a lot of real estate analysis. I also share my personal journey of selling, buying with my viewers. So if you like this kind of content, be sure to hit the subscribe button. It will really help my channel grow. So back to the analysis. Okay, so these are some perspectives of what we have in the Robertson Opus. Actually, in a way, the format is still quite similar to how Robertson Walk was like, where level 1, there's a lot of your commercial element over here. And then upstairs is residential for now lah. Last time, if I'm not wrong, it was a service apartment. Then swimming pool over here, I think they are still very nicely well designed. Definitely will look much more modern than what we remembered with Robertson Walk. So this is the location map of the actual site over here. I would say it's very conveniently located. Why? Because Fort Canning MRT over here is just a 5 minutes walk. So in today's market, if you are in the market yourself, finding a freehold property is very rare already. Finding a freehold 999 property that is 5 minutes walk to MRT is really quite unheard of. So if you're someone who is looking at, I want the freehold 999 years, I want proximity to MRT, I want core central region, guys, then honestly, I think this is something that you should be looking at, because in terms of location, there's MRT, there is your Singapore River for your lifestyle, there is also commercial element downstairs, UE Square right beside you, lots of shop houses, new Baru with this new development over here. I think whether or not you are buying for own stay, or if you are targeting this group of tenants who want this kind of lifestyle, you are targeting certain group of tenants, maybe expatriates who like Saturday, Sunday, they want to stroll along Singapore River, have that kind of lifestyle, like to host, like to enjoy themselves, having a nightlife. This is definitely a location that you don't want to miss. So this is a site plan. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total blocks. Key things that I want to highlight over here is that block 15 is the block with the 3.225 meter ceiling height, and most of the suites, the smaller units, will be at this block. Reason being because I think suites are smaller. This is the smallest layout we have in the Robertson Opus. Developer is very smart, they're very strategic. They want to build a higher ceiling height to give you a better sense of space, so that when you walk in, it's not so small, not so cramped. So that's why this block will have this high ceiling height of 3.225 meter. Another one will be block 9, which is the legacy block, where the biggest units, in fact, they will be at block 9, and the rest will be the luxury blocks in block 7, block 11 and block 13. Swimming pool will be over right here. There is also rooftop access, a rooftop garden that is all linked throughout all the blocks. So I think this kind of concept is very nice. Of course, this rooftop access is exclusive to residents of the Robertson Opus. Public can access only on the ground floor with the shops. So in that sense, it is still very exclusive. These are some project information of the Robertson Opus. So this is a development by Fraser's Security House. It's a redevelopment. They previously owned this property already. Total units 348, as I mentioned, 999 years. So 999 years is from 1800s, because why? All the properties in Singapore which are 999 years, right? In fact, they are all from 1800s, because that's where British came over and then they colonized Singapore lah. So some history why 999 years all start from 1800s, not from 2025. That's the key reason. But in reality, in Singapore, we will treat 999 years just almost like freehold. It's just a technicality where some plots of land, they are deemed 999 years and not freehold. So these are some things that I think you might find it useful. Expected TOP 2030, but estimated, wow, Q4 2028, just 3 years from this year. So actually quite fast leh. If you drive past or if you walk past the Robertson Walk today, everything is closed already, all the vendors are moved out, but you get to see where the exact location is, you get to see what kind of vibe it might be. Of course, that is very much older, but you can get a glimpse of, level 1 will be commercial element, on top it will be residential. So if you're someone interested in whatever I just mentioned, please go and take a walk, drive around the area. I think you'll definitely fall in love in this location because even when I see that, I mean, last time I used to go there for dinner and everything, right? It's very, very nice vibes. Singapore River, who doesn't like it? Then car park lots, right? We have 80%, 278 lots. I think that is quite generous because we are only 5 minutes walk from Fort Canning MRT anyway. Then we have very prestigious architects and contractors. So mainly ADDP architects, they are very good. Lam Chang Builder, they are also very good. So I'm sure the quality for this project, will be top notch. This is also the distribution chart, so you can see per floor how is it broken down for all the blocks over here. Then this is the unit mix. So for suites, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 2 plus study, we have 65% will be your 1 bedroom to the 2 plus study. So clearly the developer is building this with investors in mind. If you ask me, I think this is expected because level 1 is commercial and most people buying for own stay, they may not want this kind of so many shops on the level 1. Maybe they'll prefer something that is more exclusive, just purely residential, big land plot for own stay. So developer knowing this, they target a different group, which is investors. Why? Because tenants, more importantly, they would want the convenience, they would want the amenities. So when you're renting out, I'm sure it'll be easier because you are just 5 minutes walk to MRT and then shops are downstairs. You also have UE Square over here. So it kind of makes sense why developer is doing this, but the key question is, does it make sense for you to enter? So we'll explore that later, so be sure to watch through the end of the video. If you're someone looking to buy this for own stay, then we are looking at 35% over here for the 3 bedroom and the 4 bedroom. 4 bedroom extremely rare, only 9 units over here. So as I mentioned just now, types of collection. So block 15, these are the ones with the 3.225 meter ceiling height. Block 9, this is the most atas block with all the big unit types over here. And then the rest will be your luxury over here. So in terms of the colors that they use, they're a bit different. But from what I understand, block 15, which is the premium collection, and the luxury collection will be something similar in material, just different color tones. Whereas the legacy one, that's the one that the materials are different, full marble and everything is really top notch, right? Because these people are buying for own stay. So suites, this will be the smallest bedroom type in the Robertson Opus. Of course, if you are someone who is more budget sensitive, you want to buy something more palatable, this will be something that may be interest for you. So suites, what's the difference will be there is no wall over here. That is differentiating the master and the living. In fact, the living is over here lah. So this will feel like a hotel room. But why this will be interesting is because the size is only 431 square feet. In terms of the calculation of the expected price, if I were to use 431 and we expect maybe the PSF to be about 3,002, you are looking at 1.379 starting from maybe. So freehold 1 bedroom, I mean suites lah, but it's considered like a 1 bedroom, 1.379. Maybe that's quite an interesting price for you to consider. So this is also outward facing. Then this is another stack 34. Layout almost the same. The only key difference will be this thing over here. That's about it. So not much of a key difference lah. If you're someone just purely looking at investment and you have a tighter budget, this might be something of interest for you, but we'll analyze a bit more after this. Then the 1 bedroom, the key difference will be the living and the master bed. There is a wall separating the two of them, and then you have a proper dining area over here. It's bigger, but it's also 495 square feet. Key thing I want to highlight is that 495 minus 431 is about 64 square foot of space. You multiply by 3,002 or maybe 3,250. This is about $208,000 of difference. So this is something for you to consider whether is it worth it, because from experience, the suites and the 1 bedroom, I think the rental will be about the same. Granted, your view here, this is the swimming pool, will be nicer, but is it worth paying so much more extra if the rental is about the same? So that's for you to consider. I think maybe not so worth it. So first thing we need to understand, how is the supply of one bedroom in River Valley? Does it mean that if the supply is more limited in River Valley, does it mean that it's safer to enter? Does it mean that it's more profitable to enter? So this is the part we're going to analyze. So firstly, in River Valley, we take a look at the condos in this area. So how did we shortlist these 5 projects? Will be this. First thing, District 9, more than 300 units and freehold. So these are the criteria of comparisons in River Valley. Why? Because the Robertson Opus is also freehold, District 9, more than 300 units. So I understand River Valley consists of other condos also, not just these condos, and also overlap into District 3, even District 10, you have your Valley Park and your River Place. But for discussion's sake, we are only going to focus on these 5 because they have the same attributes in terms of District 9, more than 300 units, and also freehold 999 years. Okay, so if you take a look at these attributes, then really there's only these 5 units, and out of these 5 developments, the 1 bedroom total only have 257 units, and this makes up 12% of 1 bedroom in these development, which is, I would say, quite rare in terms of 1 bedroom. But we need to be mindful that in the vicinity, just now I mentioned 5 land plots, 5 new launches this year or early next year. This is the very first one. Upcoming, we have 4 more. We have River Green over here. We have River Green Parcel B that is not launched yet. We have Zion Parcel B, Zion Road Parcel A. Then this is still on reserve list, not launched yet. Then Well is also something that is just TOP recently. River Green, we have already know there's 105 units of 1 bedroom coming up. Okay, for example, Zion Road, Parcel A, Parcel B, this is under District 3, not part of the consideration we mentioned before, but because these condos will be very, very new, it is expected that all these developments will TOP about the same time as the Robertson Opus. So I feel it's a good comparison to compare also lah. So with the upcoming supply, is it still worth it to enter a 1 bedroom in the Robertson Opus? So to understand this, we also have to study from another district, which is Marina Bay. Why is that? Because Marina Bay has one of the highest 1 bedroom in the area. And this is covered in our previous video in the One Marina Gardens review. You can take a look at over here if you haven't watched that video. So for Marina Bay, very easy, only 4 developments actually in this area. And the total 1 bedroom comes up to be 36% of the entire unit mix in Marina Bay area. So from what we mentioned earlier, usually we will think about, okay, if this supply is more limited in this location, then surely it should be more profitable, or surely the rental yield would be better. Is this true? So we find out. For 1 bedroom rental yield, Marina Bay, these 3, okay, why only 3? Because Marina Bay Suites does not have any 1 bedroom, yeah? So these 3, 4%, 4.6%, 3.68%. These are the rental yield of 1 bedroom, even though they have 30% of 1 bedroom in the Marina Bay area. Whereas River Valley, the 4 developments that have 1 bedroom, honestly, the rental yield is only 2+% to 3.5%. So you can see right from the top, even though Marina Bay has higher supply of 1 bedroom, they can still command much higher rental yield. So why is the case? Why is it not like, oh, lower supply means confirm rental yield will be better since more rare ma? Because Marina Bay 1 bedroom, the demand is so much higher. Why? Because a lot of expats who work around the area, they probably don't need so much space. They may not need the lifestyle as much. They probably just want the proximity to the MRT. So the 1 bedroom demand is extremely high. People who want the lifestyle, maybe they're looking at least a 2 bedroom if they can afford. So demand for 1 bedroom in River Valley may not be super high, because these people in River Valley are actually, space is one huge consideration that they are very mindful of. And so if the space is too small, it may not be something that they want. So for River Valley area, it's not so simple that, wow, as long as I buy some unit type where it's very rare, 1 bedroom, there's very limited supply, wow, confirm I can earn. So as we see from this analysis, it's not so simple. And I would say the rental yield will continue to be around this range Why? Because most of this River Valley, as I mentioned, these are all freehold, and freehold rental yield usually is not super high. If you're after rental yield, then honestly, you should go for 99's project. Whether or not River Valley, that's up to you. I would say River Valley in terms of rental yield may not be the strongest. If you're looking at a 1-bedroom rental yield per se, then honestly, Marina Bay, off this chart, right, you can see that Marina Bay rental yield will be better. And of course, these are all 99's project, but doesn't matter ma. If you're after rental yield, then 99 years of freehold may not be your biggest concern. So just to be mindful, if you are looking to buy a 1-bedroom in River Valley area, these are something that you need to be very concerned, because if your rental yield is not good, your next buyer buying from you, who is also an investor, will be mindful of that, and they will be thinking hard to themselves, will it be worth it? So this is something that I think you need to be more wary about. So between the suites and the 1-bedroom, I'll definitely go for the suites. Why? Because to be honest, the key difference is really just this wall separating the living and the master. But more importantly, if you are buying this to rent out, the rental yield should be your utmost priority. And like I mentioned before, I don't think the rental will differ that much. But your purchase price, as I calculated before, will be 200 over 1,000 of difference. So this is something that you need to be very mindful lah. I would say just go for the suites if you really just want to own a piece of freehold 99's property in River Valley. Suites I think should be the one to go for. But is this the best investment that we can make in today's market? It may not be. So I would say for this project, the 1-bedroom may not be my best option. If I can, I'll look at the other layouts, which I will explore with you guys in the later part of this video. Yeah, so another key thing to take note is this huge bar. River Green 99's project beside Great World area, the 2-bedroom is only 527 square feet. And since it's 99 years, right, the PSF we are expecting maybe starting from 2008 PSF, which means the 2-bedroom can start from 1.475 million compared to 1.379 million. You add $100,000 more, $800,000 more, you can get 2-bed, 1-bath. So this is something that I think if you're an investor looking at rental yield, looking at profitability, it's something that you need to be mindful of, because next time when you exit, if you really enter the suites or the 1-bedroom, you might find yourself very stuck. Simply because your neighbor down the road, yes, they are 99 years, but the pricing is really very close, yet they are 1-bedroom type above yours. So really, who are the people should be looking at this project and this unit type? Is really you you just want the 99 years the freehold, and you're not looking to exit in the short time frame. That means in the 3 to 5 years, you're not looking to exit. You are really here for legacy planning. Maybe you want to hold at least 7 to 10 years before thinking to exit. Then sure, I think that's okay. Or you just want to buy something to pass on to your kids. Then the freehold 99 years may make sense. But if you're looking to exit in the short 3 to 5 years, I don't think this will be the best choice. So next, let's look at the 2-bedrooms in the Robertson Opus. So firstly, we have the smallest 2-bed, 2-bath. Thankfully, they are all 2-bath, no 1-bath. 689 square feet. I think I haven't mentioned this before, but the Robertson Opus is a non-harmonized project. So the whole square foot includes your AC latch over here. So this is something to be very mindful of. So just now, as I mentioned, the 527 square feet, this is harmonized. So it should feel like maybe 580 square feet or even close to 600 square feet if you consider square feet to square feet. Okay, for 2-bed, 2-bath, 689 square feet, this is a dumbbell layout. Actually, this layout is quite good. Why? Because your kitchen is tucked away with a glass panel over here, which means light can enter to the kitchen as well. The whole space will feel bigger because this is a glass panel. Yeah, I really like tucked away kitchen. I don't like kitchenette. So if let's say you like to host friends or whatsoever, at least if you need to go to the kitchen, yeah, you have a tuck away spot. And then yeah, the both master and the bedroom too, they are very good size. And the bathroom too is a Jack and Jill. Very standard layout, but good. It's good. You have a designated dining area. For a 689 square feet, for a smallest 2-bedroom unit type in the Robertson Opus, I would say this is quite bang for the buck. You have everything that you need. Even if you want to rent out, this is a very decent layout. So these are facing outwards. So once again, I probably haven't mentioned this, but we are not expecting any kinds of view in the Robertson Opus. If you are facing outwards, likely you are blocked by other developments. If you are facing inwards, you are also quite close to your opposite block over here. Maybe only here where you got a bit more unblocked. That is why they place the bigger unit types over at this pocket. But if not, you can just simply go for a lower floor where you can see the swimming pool better lah. The Robertson Opus, no views, so honestly don't need to buy too high floor because I don't think it's quite worth it. But yes, this will be at 2.875 meter because as I mentioned, only block 15 you will get a 3.225 meter ceiling height. So this one will have the 2.875 meter ceiling height. But this is a very good layout because 689 square feet, you get everything you need. I don't see any flaw in this layout. Then we have the 710 square feet layout. This is something that is a bit more interesting, I would say. Because why? Once you enter, yes, you have a private foyer, but immediately you'll be greeted by the kitchen. This kitchen will be quite dark because there's no window over here, so that's something to be mindful of. I think that if you are in the kitchen, likely you will need to switch on light the whole time because the light can't travel so far unless you open your main door over here, which most people wouldn't do. Yeah, so the kitchen will be very dark. This is something to take note. There is also no windows in the bathroom too. Then thankfully master bath you have a window. Then bedroom 2 is facing differently. It's facing this way, while the master bedroom is facing this way. Dining good because it's flush over here, which means the dining is actually good size, 4-seater. In fact, if you want to have a bigger dining area, I'm sure you can. Just that it eats into your kitchen a bit, but it's okay. But my only concern is that the kitchen will be a bit dark, and I don't really like that you enter this way is the kitchen lah. The vibe is a bit different for me, so it's a personal preference thing. I don't really fancy this layout. And the bathroom 2, no windows in the bathroom 2, that's also something of a concern. So this is B3 710 square feet, so the size jump is quite a lot already. Because why? 689 minus 710, that's about 21 square feet of difference. And because this is inward facing, so 3250 times 21, yeah, there is about 68k of difference compared to the 689 square feet. Actually, not too bad, not too bad. But layout wise, I think it's a bit of a concern. So yeah, let's look at the other 2-bedroom unit type. Okay, this one we have the 721 square feet. Key difference, this one will have the 3.225 meter ceiling height, this layout, whereas this one 2.875 meter. Same size, 721 square feet, but a bit of difference will be number 1, ceiling height. Number 2 will be your bathrooms situation. This one you have your window. This one no window, no window. This is something to take note. For this layout over here, you have inwards facing, you have outwards facing as well. So what will be the key difference? I think livability wise, this B1 will be much better. Why? Because when you enter high ceiling, first thing when you enter, you will feel that wow, the sense of space is so much better, and the light entering the unit will be so much better because you have windows in all the places that matter. So livability, definitely this B1 will be very good. If the price is the same, I don't think it will be. If the price is the same, definitely B1 would be my top choice. In fact, I think of all the layouts we have seen so far in this project, this will be my most preferred layout. Because why? We can't just buy a layout that is small, you know, it's cheap and everything. Why? Because River Valley area, this is an area where it's very important to have very good livability. And the people here, because it's called Central Region, price, it may not be the most important factor they look at. They look at value. So for this 721 square feet, I think it's very good value because you're getting a nice ceiling height. You also have the windows in all the places. Then the next 2-bedroom layouts, we have also 721 square feet, but this is a bit different. The key difference will be your kitchen is no longer tucked in, it's L-shaped. So L-shaped kitchen, what's the challenge? The challenge is that your dining will be in the middle of your kitchen, so it can be a bit obstructive when you come back or when you go out, when you host friends. It may seem a bit more cramped in terms of the vibe as compared to a designated dining area that will be much more preferred because it's a nicer space. Also, for this layout, there's no windows. For this one, there is windows, but since they're all 721 square feet and this is all outwards facing, I would say just now the B1 with the 3.225 meter ceiling height, that is so much more preferred because I have a tucked away kitchen, I I have windows in my bathrooms and my kitchen. Since they are same size, I would say the price difference I don't think will be super significant. If you can, just go for the B1 layout. So next we have the 2-bedroom plus study, 743 square feet, which is very good size because why? 743 minus 721 is just 22 square feet difference, yet they are able to give you a study area. And mind you, this is a non-harmonized project, so I think it's really quite good. And once again, you got tucked away kitchen, just that your bath rooms, they don't have windows. That's the only thing. But dining, tucked away dining, designated dining, tucked away kitchen, and your study, I think very usable. It can be a study, it could be a flexi, it could be a make-do guest room, a very small guest room if you want to, or if you like to put all your collectibles to showcase, or your bags, or walk-in wardrobe, you can. That's the beauty of the study. The good thing also, only 9%, 2.875 meter ceiling height. This 2 plus study, only 9% is a good thing because supply is a bit more limited, and these are all inwards facing, which means pricing wise there should be a premium for this bedroom type. So what is our top choice for the 2 bedrooms? I would say, as I mentioned, B1 721 square feet, because when you enter 3.225 meter ceiling height, I've been to a show flat, really the 3.225 meter, wow, shock. So when you enter, it does not feel like 721 square feet, maybe you'll feel like 800 plus square feet kind of space. Imagine your living dining is not the biggest already, so there's extra boost in the ceiling height, will really give you a lot of difference visually. So B1 really will be my top choice. If you are more budget sensitive, then a 689 square feet will be something interesting. If you are looking at rental yield, likely 689 square feet will be the best because the size is the smallest. But if you are buying for own stay, if you want to exit fast, exit with a better profitability, I think the B1 721 square feet is something to look at, because your buyers next time may not be just investors, maybe younger couples looking to buy for own stay. And the 721 square feet during resale time, I'm sure it will do much better because of the higher ceiling height that they can see in real life. 689 square feet buying for own stay may be a bit of a challenge because it might be a bit too compact. But the 721 square feet with the high ceiling, I think is very, very solid. Of course, this is assuming the developer doesn't load too much premium in this B1 layout because they have the higher ceiling. But if let's say the difference is within 100 PSF, I think it's still reasonable. If there's no difference, then really don't think about it. Just go for the B1. Really solid choice. This is another huge but that we have for the 2-bedroom, which is River Green. Another comparison that we have. 99's project, 3-bedroom compact is only 786 square feet. Why can they do this? It's because they are harmonized. And we have seen this at Lentor Mansion before. Lentor Mansion 3-bedroom was also about this kind of sizing. 786 square feet, 2008 PSS starting from maybe 2.2 million only. So why is this a concern? Because 721 times 3250 is already 2.343250. So your 2-bed, 2-bath, if let's say they never load huge premium, so we assume 3250 PSF will be more expensive than a 3-bed compact in River Green. So that's something I would say of a concern. In the short run, maybe you might find it a bit difficult to exit. Of course, we haven't seen River Green's layout of 786 square feet. We don't know how well planned that is. But the silver lining is that River Valley, yes, you can buy this very cheap, but River Valley people, they are very discerning, 钱不是问题。They want the space, they want the size. So if let's say they enter River Green 3-bedroom compact, the 786 square feet feels small and feels super small, they won't be able to accept no matter how cheap it is. So I would dare say, the buyer profile of people buying the B1 721 square feet will be very different from River Green's 786 square feet. So it's also likely the case that you're attracting different groups of buyers and there's potentially no conflict of interest. But before you buy, you should know that you have a competitor coming at 2.2 million. I would say if you have slightly longer holding power, I think it's still okay to buy this Robertson Opus because it is freehold. Because the layout is really good and you have the high ceiling height. The product will be very, very different from River Green. Then now, let's get into the 3-bedroom analysis. So for 3-bedroom, we have a lot of layouts, so let's bear with me. Firstly, we have the 3-bedroom flexi. The flexi, where's the flexi? The flexi is over here. So this flexi reminds me of Emerald of Katong, where they also have the flexi where you can make it like a study, you can make it like a store, you can make it like a walk-in wardrobe, you have a window over here which is great. So it's actually very, very usable. If not, you can also hack down this wall and you have a very wide dining area over here, you can. So the Flexi is really good because this wall is hackable. That's a very key important thing. And yeah, I would say this layout really quite solid because why? 926 square feet, they're able to give you 3 bedrooms, still got space for Flexi. Usually 900 plus square feet, it's quite difficult to do that for a pre-harmonized project. So I would say the layout is very superb. One balcony, which I prefer because why? From here on, all the 3-bedroom Flexi will have a secondary balcony in the master bedroom, which personally I don't really need. Why? Because I don't need unless I need extra balcony for laundry purpose. So the marketing pitch of having a balcony in the master bedroom is always this. It's always, oh, after a long day of work, your kids are asleep, finally you have your alone time in your master bedroom, you can have wine in your balcony and have your personal time. But personally, I think really you really got energy to do that. I think likely, maybe if you like to host people, you might bring your laundry to your secondary balcony. Then your main balcony you can host your friends, and your friends will need to see your laundry in the balcony. That is quite likely. The whole wine pitch may not be that appealing to me. So if you're someone you think, okay I want to have a separate space for laundry, because why? Laundry area for 3-bedroom compact, we don't have a yard, so you do need to find a place to put your laundry. This balcony maybe can, but it's a very expensive place to put your laundry. If not, you can convert your Flexi, you can close up this area, you can put your laundry in the Flexi area because they have windows in this area. But personally, I think the Flexi can be better used if you're using it as a study, or you want to hack down this wall to make it a bigger dining area. Actually, that is really appealing because there will be light entering this area, so your dining area will be very well lit, and the cross ventilation can happen this way also, so your dining area will also be very breezy. I would say maybe hacking the wall will be my preferred option. Why? Because I used to have a dining area something like that, right? The challenge is that this dining room will be very stuffy because the cross ventilation happens like that, so it doesn't really go to this dining corner over here. But if you do hack the wall, suddenly this air can flow in through like that, then your dining area will have a lot more natural ventilation. So it's something to think about. I think you can consider for that. Then we have more 3-bedroom Flexi. Of course, the sizes are a bit different simply just because of the walkway. This walkway is over here. You have a private foyer. This one, no walkway, just a very long walkway. Then this one, you have a private foyer, but it's a very long private foyer. So in terms of the usage of space, may not be the most efficient, I would say. And they all come with dual balcony. So there's something that you need to see whether there's something you like. Personally, I think if I do a lot of laundry and I want to keep my laundry away from my living area, I can potentially think about it. By carrying your clean laundry all the way from kitchen to balcony is also a chore. You need to see whether you want to do that. Or you really buy into the fact that anyway, I don't host friends, I will just use my main balcony as a laundry area, and my wine area will be at my master bedroom balcony because I really do enjoy a glass of wine with my spouse at night, and I don't need the main balcony for that. You can consider that also. So this may appeal to these groups of buyers. Then we have the very interesting 3-bedroom Duoflex. This is very interesting because if you go to the show flat, you will see this layout. Key difference of these two layouts is simply this area over here. So let us go straight into it. When you look at this layout right from the floor plan, right, you will think, maybe is this a dual key unit because it says Duoflex, but actually not really, because why? Dual key unit, immediately you have maybe 2 doors over here, but cannot. Because why? You actually need to share the kitchen and the dining and the living area over here. So that is why making this as a dual key is extremely difficult. Who will be interested to buy this layout? People who want to do co-living, you can consider this because why? You have a communal living, communal dining, communal kitchen. Kitchen has a window, but it's not a tucked-in kitchen. It's a kitchenette space, rather like a huge pantry area. So actually, I would say the developer built this in mind for people who want to do co-living. Then how would you rent out? I would say you can build a door, a secondary door over here, and another door over here. Then your tenants can utilize the living, the dining, the kitchen, your washer dryer over here. Then you will be quite nice. Why must you build these doors? Because the bathroom 2 for this bedroom 2, right, is a Jack and Jill-ish where you have dual entrance here and here. So if you don't build any door, then technically it's only this door. Someone else can just enter the bedroom 2 via this way and can enter to the bedroom 2 even if the door is closed. So that is why I think you need to definitely still build a door over here. If you want to rent out separately for this bedroom 2 and the master bed and bedroom 3 lah. Similarly for here, they share this bathroom. There's entrance here, there's entrance here. So if you don't build the door in front over here, then someone can just enter this way. Even if your master bedroom door is closed, then there's that risk lah. And that's why if you want to rent out separately, you have to build these separate doors, in my opinion. If not, a secondary group of people that may be interested will be people who are maybe 2 generations of living, 3 generations of living, where they want a separate area for themselves, yet they want to come together for dinner and for living purpose. Yeah, I think this layout may suit them. Or maybe you're a group of friends or extended family, want to buy together, want to potentially live together, you can also consider that because you have some sort of privacy here and here. But to be honest, do I think this is a very huge group of buyers looking at this? How will your exit strategy be? I think quite difficult. I think it's quite difficult to find a good exit strategy if you were to look into this, because the people that are going to target are very, very niche. So I'm not very confident that if you buy this, it will be easy to offload next time. So that's something to bear in mind. But the size is very good, 990 square feet and only 1 balcony, thankfully. So I would say usage of space is good, but because the target audience is too niche, it's targeting maybe co-living companies or people who are 3 generation living, then yes. So I think that is the key challenge over here. So now we want to visualize, if let's say you yourself want to set up a co-living company and buy this property, will this work? So firstly, let's take a look at the River Valley 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom transaction. So what I did was that I look at Rivier's transactions, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. Actually, the value is quite good. But we need to be mindful that your 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom, they have their own living dining area. So I took away 30% off in terms of the rent, just as an estimate. Because why? Now we are going to share the dining, the kitchen, and the living. So if they don't have a discount factor, then why would they want to rent from you, right? So that's why I took out 30%. Let's assume your 1 bedroom, you can rent out 3,007. So this 1 bedroom over here, rent out 3,007. This 2 bedroom over here, which is this area over here, 4,008. Total, you're getting 8,006. Purchase price, I assume 3,002 PSF, 990 square feet. You are buying at 3.168 million. So another key thing is that if you do have the budget for this, maybe you also got other options. But let's say you want to do co-living concept. Your rental yield is not bad, 3.26%. Is it very good? Actually, not quite. So people with 3.168 million who want to buy for this rental yield, I think not that many. And you may have better options. So yeah, I think you need to think about it, because why? If you have this kind of budget, honestly, you can consider the normal 3 bedroom layout, buy to flip, or even other developments, you can buy 3 bedroom or even up to a 4 bedroom, buy to flip. Maybe you have better profitability, because why? The evergreen kind of buyers, regardless market good or bad, tend to be upgraders, tend to be Singaporeans who want to buy, want to upgrade into that kind of size, they will be there. But if you're looking just for this kind of niche buyers, yes, it will be challenging. Then finally, we have something that I'm actually very, very pleased about. 3 bedroom premium of the Robertson Opus. This is a layout that I really, really like. It is one of the show flat layout. Please go and take a look. You will absolutely love it. So let's look at C1P first, 1152 square feet. And I think this is a very well planned out 1152 square feet. So once again, you come in. I like that you don't have really a foyer per se, but there's full privacy. Because why? My dining is over here. When your door opens, your neighbor and other people outside can't see what's happening inside. Your living is totally not within sight when you open your door, and only your kitchen is seen. And I really, really like how they designed this, because it's very private. You have your yard, so now you don't need to worry where you're going to air your clothes. Home shelter for storage, and your WC even comes with windows. The key thing for this layout, there are a few things that is really, really beautiful. Your balcony is nice and wide. One thing, if you don't need the full 3 bedroom, you can consider hacking this wall. Then now your living area will be this big. Then you have a landscape living area, which is extremely rare in newer developments. and much more so for a 3-bedroom with a landscape is really very rare. So this is something that I think will be very beautiful in resale times. You can even shift your dining area to your landscape. Second thing is that your kitchen over here can be open, can be a closed concept kitchen because it has a window anyway. So what is it? You go to the show fair, you take a look, there's sliding doors. If let's say you decide to cook something like fried rice or curry and things like that, you want to close, right? You can. So it's a fully enclosable kitchen with a window, and then this will be a kitchen. But let's say in normal times, you would like to host friends and you are not cooking because anyway downstairs got so much food, right? You can open up this and suddenly this whole area will be part of your living. If you knock down this wall, then this whole thing will be your living area. Can you see how big this is? Yeah, maybe I use a different color to showcase this part. Yeah, if you knock down this wall, this whole thing will be part of your living area, which you can host your friends. And I think for a 3-bedroom with such a big living area, very good. Yeah, so I really like this layout. All the bathrooms comes with windows, it's pretty standard. And then your flexi, this is I think a bigger flexi area, and yeah, you can make it a study, a walk-in wardrobe. Yes, you can make it a walk-in wardrobe. So you just need to build a door here, and then you can make the flexi as a walk-in wardrobe, extend your master. So if you don't need so many bedrooms, you just need 2 bedrooms for example, you can make your master with a walk-in wardrobe, then bedroom 2 will be your secondary bedroom lah. Bedroom 3 you knock down, becomes part of your living area. They don't even have beams in between, only one small beam over here, which I think is negligible. Ceiling height 2.875 is okay. I think your living area will be wide enough to fill the space. So really like guys, if you are buying for own stay, this layout is something to look at. I really like it. I think it's very ingenious of the developer to have come up with this layout for a 3-bedroom, because yeah, even in mass market, we don't really see this kind of space. And 1152, to be honest, not super big. It's very palatable. Yeah. So if you are someone looking to buy for own stay, or even you have the budget to buy to flip, I think this layout you can consider, because in resale time, it will fly. The balcony, imagine you just step in, right? And if you really do knock down the wall, wow, the vibe, the feel will be super good. So yeah, this will be my top choice for the 3-bedroom premium, simply because of so much permutations you can do with this layout. It's just there's only 18 units, 18 units and 9 units here. Not much supply over here, only 8% of the entire Robertson Opus. So if you are someone looking for freehold, looking to have shops downstairs, restaurants downstairs, yeah, then I think look no further. This is it. Second choice will be the 926 square feet single balcony, because I think don't need second balcony. Because second balcony, you need to pay a lot for that. The PSF here is not cheap, so I don't think the secondary balcony is extremely essential. Yeah, and the dining honestly is good size over here. You see, it's still flush to one corner, meaning you can fit a 6-seater. If you don't need flexi, just knock down this wall, you can fit maybe up to a 10-seater over here with a much better ventilation also. So I think this is very good already. Then we also want to look into the supply of 3-bedroom in River Valley area. So same thing, the same requirements that we look at, more than 300 units, Freehold, District 9, River Valley area, only 5 developments. Total 3-bedroom, 870 units. Total 3-bedroom for sale as of today, as of the date of filming, only 29 units for sale. This means only 3.33% of 3-bedroom is for sale in these developments. Guys, this is extremely rare, which means the demand for 3-bedroom is really quite good. And to be honest, this one we can really just see, okay, if there's a lot of demand, can buy it. Because why? 3-bedroom is for own stay, not so much for rental. It's about livability also. So a lot of people buy this for own stay because they like the location, they like the lifestyle, and they will buy for own stay. And that's why 3.33, this is very good. If you have the budget and if you are someone who aspires to live in River Valley area, and this is some more freehold, I think you should definitely consider. 4-bedroom, this one very easy, because why? Only one layout. Once again, you come in, very private, only can see a bit of your dining area. I will take that. This layout, once again, is just like the 3-bedroom premium, where there's so much things you can do. Firstly, the kitchen is also same kind of concept where you can open up, and this will be part of your living area. So if you are not cooking and you like to host friends, let's say New Year's Eve, where a lot of people are coming to your place, you can just open up this kitchen over here. This will become a dry island, and people can be standing around here, have drinks, have cheese, and chill around. Dining area, of course, will be your dining. And if you don't need all 4 bedrooms, once again, you can consider knocking down this divider, and you have a super big living area. Look at that. Look at this. Yeah, so if you were to knock down the wall between the living and the bedroom floor, open up the kitchen, when you host your New Year's Eve party, I will want to be there because it's super big. You just need to go down, tap out some food or have dinner downstairs first, come up, have drinks. Guys, there's so much space you can play hide and seek over here. So this 4-bedroom really very nice because the balcony is nice and wide, and if you don't need 4 bedrooms, open up landscape, huge lah, really huge. If you want to host friends for soccer and everything like that, wow, simply amazing. And you still have a junior master bedroom over here. So if let's say you have a big family staying with you, you can have a junior master over here, then 3 bedrooms over here. There's still a lot of privacy. But let's say you don't need so many bedrooms, just 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedroom. This 3rd bedroom can be your guest room or for your parents for own stay. Lots of privacy because your living and the bedroom floor will create so much space in between, so much privacy. Bathroom 3 comes with windows. Your walk-in wardrobe is already built for you. You don't need another flexi. So I think they probably just use the flexi area to build your walk-in wardrobe. Yard still comes with windows. WC comes with windows, which I absolutely love because a lot of WC, they don't come with window. So the WC area will be extremely useful because for this layout, likely you may have a helper staying with you, and this WC can be your helper's toilet. Yeah, so honestly guys, this 4-bedroom premium only have 9 units. I really think if money is not an issue, there's nothing to complain about for this layout. And this is also one of the best stacks because why? It has one of the best setback over here. It's not directly facing another unit within the Robertson Opus. So in terms of the view, in terms of the ventilation, one of the best. Yeah, so really nothing to complain. 1539 square feet, wow, very livable. Yeah, and the usage of space is simply really amazing. You don't really have very long walkways, especially if you were to knock down this wall. Even this space can be very well utilized. Yeah, really very ingenious. I mean, I would aspire to live in a layout like that. Yeah, you see a master, you still got space for a dressing table over here. His and her taps, very good guys. Okay lah, junior master, you don't have a window over here, but I think that's not too bad. No choice. Most of it, they got everything. They got everything right. So really, nothing to complain about. And then the supply of 4-bedroom in River Valley area, once again, we have all these developments that we have mentioned earlier. Only 554 4-bedrooms in River Valley area. Only 17 units of 4-bedroom for sale. This means only 3%, 3.07%. This is even more rare than the 3-bedroom River Valley that we saw just now. Which means what? Which means when you buy a 4-bedroom and you want to let go, maybe it's not the fastest, but I'm sure the natural demand over here is very strong. Meaning if any buyer come into the market looking for a 4-bedroom River Valley, not many options, and your unit will definitely be one of the units that they'll be looking at. I think, yeah, because of the layout, the livability, the convenience, the location, your 4-bedroom and the 3-bedroom premium, no issue to let go in the resale market simply because it's so rare lah. I mean, that's really the end of our analysis for the Robertson Opus. This is a beautiful project. I just wish maybe they built a bit more 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom because I see so much potential in this location. The 1-bedroom and the 2-bedroom, if you are buying to rent out, this is something that I'll be a bit more concerned because unless you are just super into the freehold, the 999-year status, if not, you may have other options that you can consider because after all, there are 4 more land plots upcoming. But if you're someone just looking at freehold 999 years, then really look no further. This is it. And the Robertson Opus, right, if you ask me frankly, because it's freehold 99 years, this means that price point, it will definitely be higher than the 4 other land plots that we see upcoming. So pricing from the start will not be the cheapest because there's a premium for freehold. But as the units for the 4 other land plots start to sell, there will come a point in time when the people are priced out in the 4 developments over there and they'll start coming over here. Which means what? Which means if you're someone who is on the fence looking to purchase the Robertson Opus, it may make more sense to enter early because you enter before the wave come over from the 4 other land plots. And by then when they come, as a developer, if you were a developer, will you have increased price? I'm sure you will. Because now you see, wow, perfect timing. I can increase price. Now I can sell freehold and leasehold prices, for example, because those are very high developments. So if you are someone, you actually quite like this project, the pricing right now, maybe you cannot super accept it yet, or whatever reasons, I highly urge you to consider to enter the Robertson Opus, especially if you're looking for the 3 and the 4 bedrooms in this area over here. Because why? The big 3 and the 4-bedroom layout really beautifully planned out. For the 4 other land plots, we haven't seen the floor plan yet, but it's unlikely they can come up with such a good layout for own stay. So I dare say, if you enter now, you enter at a very safe price. You can choose a very good unit because right now maybe it's not super competitive yet. But when the 4 other land plots are launched, people get priced out there. People start to think, actually I pay a bit more, or about the same price I can enter freehold. Why not? Then if you only enter at that time, you need to compete with those people, and that's when you have more limited options and potentially you pay much more at that time. So I think don't wait until then. Just enter now and really select a good unit and just wait for the 4 other land plots to help you boost your prices, because remember, you are the only freehold and 99 years out of all these 5 land plots over here, and that is very, very important in this area over here, and also 5 minutes walk to Fort Canning MRT. So I've come to the end. If you find this video helpful, please remember to subscribe my channel. It will really help my channel grow. If this has helped you in any other ways, please click the like button. It will really help me. And also, if you have any comments, please leave your comments down below. I really want to hear what you think. I really read through all the comments. If not, I will see you in my next video.